Good morning. Welcome to the Katy County Board of Commissioners meeting for December 10th, 2024. First this morning, I have Mr. Randy Williams doing vacation. We'll please stand for invocation, maintain the pledge of allegiance. Liberty and justice for all. We have for us an agenda for the day. Is there any addition to the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I'd like to add the request from the City Sheriff Department, the number two for the document that was in front of the packets. We just received that request yesterday.
Okay. That'd be number 7. Any other changes? None have a motion to approve the agenda. All in favor, aye, please. Thank you, Minister. Special presentations, there is none. Public participation, there is none. We also have for us our minutes of November 26, 2024. Do you hear a motion to approve the minutes?
Move to accept.
All in favor, aye, please. Thank you much. Under old business, there is none. Under new business, we have a request from Beacon and Boulevard Community Kitchen, Mr. Misty Roberts. And Ms. Emily Griffin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning. People working down here. It's nice to be with you this morning. I have a wonderful ministry that is in the bud right now. And I am so happy to be here to present this to you. Really my first formal presentation other than the teenagers at the Methodist Church. So we're beginning to launch an idea that has been in my spirit for 23 years. Just been waiting on my husband's family to release a property that was the original Church of God on Boulevard. And it has an old worn-down church and a rectangular building that we will be using as a kitchen, and then an old parsonage that doesn't have a roof that we're going to make an alfresco dining area for this community kitchen, and we will be feeding people as often as the budget will allow. We do have several ministries in town that are doing that now, and so what we would like to do as a ministry is to fill the gap to begin with, and then assess the needs, and then move forward with healthy, nutritious meals for anyone that would show up. Any of you can come eat with us. The goal is to have a community gathered around tables, inside, outside, all around, to feed the hungry. And then the vision is to educate those people as we formulate relationships, cultivate soil to nourish their soul as well as their bodies. I'm a pharmacist by nature, so I have a lot of background in addiction and in mental illness, and I feel like the board that the good Lord has put together is equipped for what we're about to do. Emily Griffin is here representing the board today. She's our secretary. Stacy Warren, who was with the Salvation Army in charge of social services, is on our board. Sarah Flowers Brown, teacher at Grace, is on our board. Young girl. Marilyn White, who is about to turn 80 and celebrating her birthday this month, is on our board and an educator. I'm sure that both of these women will be seeing former students as we reach out. We're going to be, are y'all familiar with the neighborhood? Is anybody getting any background on what we're doing? We're 1 block off of Shopping Street. And this is our brand. We want to be a beacon of hope for the community, shining the light of Jesus Christ, educating the community, and being a hub for services, referrals. People have been asking me, there's a buzz that you're opening a homeless shelter over on Boulevard, and that's not what we were doing. What we want to do is provide services. And in my experience at Friends of Jesus Ministries, we would come in contact with homeless people, and we would try to get them back when they came from. their roots and help them accomplish any goals that they have, whether it be rehab, mental health, physical needs. We have plans. The house in front of you, we've been blessed that has been donated by Mr. Tim Smith. It was a home that he lived in years ago, and it's condemned by the city. We've been working with the city on what we need to do to get everything up to code, and we have to have a parking lot with at least 15 parking places for the space that we're going to be utilizing. And so over yet has volunteered his labor and his equipment to demolish the home that you have in the photograph and haul off the concrete, but we need some help in the landfill cost, which always seems to be about 8 loads. And I think I spoke to Bobby Hall, he said that's about $15,000. That's accurate or not. But I have some pictures in my notebook of the property. The goal is to restore it to its original beauty and to bring revival here. People that show. And we're not going to go crates until we get to know people who want to come, break bread with us, and move forward in faith, however that looks to each person. So I humbly ask for your help in this landfill cost, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Have you approached the city about they burn the houses, frame, and put them on that?
Yes, sir. And I think there's a higher power now up in Atlanta that they're not able to do that anymore.
No, they do. Okay.
Mr. Popple did do the asbestos inspection on the house, so we don't have to do any abatement or anything with asbestos there. Had a precious young man volunteer that has been tirelessly cleaning up the property and cleaning out the bamboo and just using his free time to help us get it presentable. And when you look at it, you think, what in the world are they going to, I mean, they could just go into them and do anything, but I believe this site is appointed for this particular mission. And I think it's convenient. It's at the end of the housing authority. Children can come there, and I have just a vision of the bell that we will ring when we start serving. We'll always have peanut butter and jelly. We'll be serving healthy, nutritious soups. I have over 45 different recipes: soup, salads, breads, cookies, and we hope not to be.
Place operational, how many people at a meal could you serve?
Probably 100. We have 16 tables that have been donated that we can use outside with umbrellas. So as I've had a vision of people going to all the way to College Street. So I have no idea what the needs are going to be, but I believe that they're going to meet those.
You said how this donation is going to be
Just donations and volunteers to begin with. It really began when Sayos put their kitchen up for sale on Facebook. And I just felt that urge to go look at it. And I called my friend that helped me at the Stillwater Shelter to go look at it. And that was really the beginning of the project. My husband's family had agreed to release the property about 2 weeks before that. So getting the kitchen covered out. In 2 days, we just half the money to purchase the kitchen. And we just paid the kitchen off this month. About $30,000. But I can say we have $300 in the bank right now, and we just live by faith, and everything comes as it is needed. We're working with Artworks there in Blankenship. They produced a rendering, but we were not pleased with where the parking lot was, so we're revising that, and hopefully by the end of the week, we will have something that can go for planning and zoning. We already have somebody donating the roof and the materials. And like we said the other day, it's just like God to give us a roof before we have a plan. But I think the buzz is getting around, and I think it's an opportunity for hospitality in our community to be exponentially growing. Churches to get involved, community, volunteers, organizations. I'm very excited about it.
I'm glad to hear that. There's not any plan for a homeless shelter, right?
No, sir. I had a conversation with Bobby because he told me he was were to be absent. And he said, we don't want to be opening up Pandora's box. And I said, we're not. No. When I was at Friendship House, there was the idea tossed around about that property possibly being a homeless shelter. And I think that's where that idea came from. No, we're not going to house them. But we do have a donor that wants to provide a laundry and a shower facility and a phone charging station, which hopefully that will happen on that property that you see in front of you where that building's going. That will be manned by volunteers and security will be there. And we will see how that goes. That's phase 2 though. Phase 1 is to get the kitchen up and running, to have a code ready facility to bring in the disabled, to bring in the young, the one, the old. And if you're having a bad day, you can come and eat.
Well, I think my fellow commissioner is that you never need too much witness.
Yes, sir.
Don't give you too much of
And that's the goal, is just to shine the love of Christ on everybody that shows up.
I remind y'all for the courage to get ready to do this. And then the question for voting. Talking to Park the other day, he said that 200 pounds per square foot. You figure on house weighing and doing that, it comes up about 160 tons of material. And what Mr. is asking for is the first way to feed the land. It is a tax exempt business. Correct me if I'm wrong. So,
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to leave.
Any other comments, questions? Second. Any other comments, questions? For we have a motion on the table and a second. All in favor, say aye. Congratulations.
Mr. Chairman, one question. I have any idea of time frame when that will be moved to?
It was awaiting this decision, so we'll be on the demolition list for Boyette. As of this-
Notification so we can notify them.
Yes. Yes, sir. And will that be me or I guess it'll be Earl? Okay. We'll be in touch. So
Yes,
I'll call
ma'am.
you out?
Please.
Okay.
That's the Lord.
Thank you. Have a wonderful holiday. Thank you for your time
Thank
today.
Next, I consider approval for bid on ban, Ms. Thomas.
Mr. Chairman, we request a bid for a 15 factory van. We opened the bids last week. The low bidder was Spring Creek Ford for $54,395 per bid. That's the total cost of $108,790. The one van will be placed for the electric system, and the other one for extension service for each. And with that, I would recommend that for $30.
Would you put your motion approved?
Second.
Any comments, questions? All in favor, say aye, please. Right. Then you have to consider appointment and then just inform the executive have a parent acceptance position. Did you look at one?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that was the only one contemplated at this time. The board member called Ms. Daniel, we had not heard from her last week, so that's good.
Yeah, I have motion to approve the appointment.
Second.
All in favor, aye, please. Consider canceling the scheduled meeting for December 24th. Yeah, motion to approve that. Second. All in favor, aye. Next, I consider approval of local legislation and comments from Mr. Richard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Until 2022,
Decatur County had in place a policy for election of commissioners that required a commissioner to have been a resident, or had to be at least 21 years of age, and had to be an elector from Decatur County. But he or she had to have been a resident of his respective district, the district that he was running for at least 18 months before the day that he or she would be sworn in and take office. In 2022, there was a general law passed that changed the age throughout the state for boards like the commission board like city council boards, board like any other board that set up by local law, that that if you're 18 years of age, you'll be eligible to hold any county or municipal office, except judicial office, as long as you are residents of the county during the 12-month period before it is that you will be taking office. That law went on to say that a government authority like the county commissioners could have a local law passed that would also require up to 12 months residency within the district that you are running for, which we have not done. There was also a provision in that 2022 law that said if you already had an in-residency requirement of 12 months, no greater than 12 months, then it would continue to be valid. In other words, you didn't have to get a new local law to put in that 12-month in your residency. Well, that's not what we had. We had an 18-month in residency. So therefore, at our last election, when someone that was a resident of Decatur County and had been for 12 months, wanted to run in a district that they were not a resident of, they were allowed to qualify and run, because we did not have an in-district residency requirement of less 12 months or less. It was asked several months ago to put in place what is necessary to come before y'all for a vote to put a 12-month residency in the district requirement in for candidates of county commissioner. And the way that that's got to be done, or the only way to get it done, is that y'all have to first vote for a 12-month residency requirement. And then if that vote is successful, then 12-month residency requirement in the district. There's already a 12-month residency requirement within the county. But you will have to vote for it. And if that vote passes, then we'll take evidence of that vote, who voted, how they voted, and we will get that in the hands of Joe Campbell, who is prepared to get legislation in the session coming up for consideration hopefully the end result of that will be a local law passed in the legislature. When we say local law, sometimes we think that that's something that we do here, but for the purposes that we're talking about, it's a local law that is passed in the legislature, local to our district. And hopefully that will be passed in the legislature so that the next time we have an election, a candidate will have to be a resident of Decatur County for at least 12 months and will have to be living in the district at least 12 months before the time it is to take over office and just begin serving. Does that make sense?
I thought you already liked it.
Yeah, it's not, and as a matter of fact, in the last election, we had somebody that qualified. So, if that is something that the board wants to consider today with a vote, then someone would need to make a proclamation to do that. It would need to be seconded, and once it's seconded, then the chairman, if the motion is made and is seconded, would call for that. Questions?
I move pursuant to OCGA section 45-2-1 that Decatur County, Georgia adopt for board commissioner candidates a district residency requirement to hold office for 12 months residency within the district in which each commission candidate seeks election, and that Representative Joe Campbell be requested to introduce appropriate legislation to effectuate such a 12-month residency requirement in the upcoming session of the General Assembly.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? Not all in favor of that motion, please think about it, saying aye. Thank you much.
What do you think?
No. Bob has contacted me on this, and he's certainly in favor of it. We need a motion from the board to approve his secretary, to be active.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, he just needs to be identified as absent.
Okay. They want a full signature on all these.
No, not a signature, that's, we're just gonna be designated on that form that you're looking at.
Right.
Who voted yes, who voted no, and who was absent.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Good deal. Next, we have the citizen welcome, wonderful call for request for Thomas.
Mr. Chairman, as I stated earlier, we just received this yesterday, and the document is actually signed by Captain Brad Albert. One of the person, the individual that emailed the document to me, asking for approval to restore the district for you. Most of the person either passed phase project with three billion parts, both the parts in that thing, so
You want to do a question? Any questions, comments? Not all in favor, say aye, please. Thank you much. Now, the commissioner's remark, Commissioner Addison.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out this morning. Wish you a safe holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and be safe.
Well, thank everybody for coming out and sharing the board for serving here to on behalf of DFAS every year the board individually, not as a governing body, we donate bicycles to DFAS and this application here to accept that gift. Ms. Jackie, do you have anything to say?
I always have a lot to say, but I can't. Just want to say on behalf of the Department of Family and Children's Services, thank you so much. We have, this year, I think we have about 10 kids less in care than we had last year, which is always good. I think we have 36 children in foster care this year. So, we do, put the bicycles to good use because that's something that we do try to encourage our kids to go outside. And some of them we can't give bikes to because they'll take off and we we have to run them down. But they do love giving bites, and they do outgrow them. So that's something that, they do. We have to, give them out quite a bit. So thank you guys so much for caring about our children. And I have to say one thing about Decatur County. When we do get our wish list from our kids, we give them what they ask for. We don't just give them what we think they may want. If they ask for an Xbox or a bicycle, we're out calling people, and our kids, they get a very good Christmas, thanks, to people like you and the wonderful people of Bainbridge. We have such a wonderful community. I wish you guys were able to see the gifts that we do get for our kids. It is a tremendous blessing every year for me to be able to be a part of that. So thank you guys.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you.
I will certainly appreciate everybody being here today, and a couple of words. Always a special day like holidays, Christmas, New Year's, graduation is always a catastrophe in our county. Keep that in mind as we go about our daily lives, and let's just be safe out there. I encourage everybody to be the same. And I want to tell Pastor Brunson how much I personally appreciate him taking on this endeavor. Did a good place to start this on his own, and we just fortunate enough to help chip in a little bit. But really thank you for a great endeavor that you have created for the county. For that, I ask for a motion to adjourn. On favor, aye. You gotta hang around now to sign it, so. Yeah. Sign it.